the unit that I serve with, they keep researching the unit that I was discharged from, the 259th Field Artillery in Fort Bliss, Texas. So they keep saying this claim is false because that unit never left Fort Bliss. That's where I was discharged from. They have not yet, to this day, 22 years later, no one has come up with the records of the 25th Field Artillery Headquarters, 69th Chemical Warfare Company. I served 14 and a half months in Korea. I listed 5 stressors. One of the stressors I think I can share was 2 that's not too horrible, is I was dropped off. I was told one morning that I was a loudmouth because I was 15 and I was trying to be grown. So I would smoke cigarettes and drink whiskey and try to be tough and tell lies. I was a pathological liar, okay? And because I wanted to think that I had this background, that I was a bank robber, all kind of stuff I tell people. I'd be drinking whiskey and I tell them anything, I guess. But anyway, these 3 guys had Confederate flags tattooed on their wrists. And it says, "The South shall rise again." And the sergeant came to my tent that morning and told me some tanks had to go across this bridge. So I had to get my machine, my smoke generator machine, and my Jeep, which was called the Georgia Peach, and drive out to where this event was going to take place. We left the camp. We drove about 20 miles. We turned off into this field, and they said, "Okay, you're going to be here, and the tanks will be coming there. So in about 10 minutes, turn your machine on, makes the white phosphorus notes to camouflage the tank." I said, "Okay." I'm standing out in the field. 10 minutes later, I turn the machine on. I don't see no tanks, and the machine is going, and it ran out. It was sputtering, and it ran out of smoke. So I'm standing there in this field. There was a big old tree behind me, a big old bush, not a tree, a big old bush, and nothing but clear land for as far as I could see. And I'm standing there, and I'm thinking that the Koreans is in this bush behind me. And I don't want to get shot in my face, because I saw country's head explode. Shoot me in the back, shoot me in the side and the stomach, but don't shoot me in my face. So I was going around the Jeep. I crawled up under the Jeep. I stayed under it about 4 hours. I went to the bathroom on myself and everything else. And after about 10 hours of being out in that field, I looked down in the grass and I saw the Jeep tracks where we had drove in at. And I turned the Jeep around and followed the track back to the road, made the right turn, and found my outfit where I had left from. And when I drove in there, Sergeant Willie, this black sergeant, he said, I was shaking. He said, "What's the matter?" And I told him what happened. I said, "What do you mean?" I told him, I said, "I've been out in that field. I've been out in that field." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Who took you out there?" And I told him the sergeant and the 3 guys with the Confederate flag. He said, "Yeah, they set you out." And I said, "What you mean set me out?" He said, "They set you out to be killed." And I was shocked. I mean, my own company, men, Americans, set me out to be killed. And he said, "Here, smoke this to calm you down." It was a Camel cigarette, and then the end of it was China White heroin. And I was introduced to drugs. That was my first time ever taking a drug. And so, but what I'm saying is, that was one of the traumas that I listed in my stressors, because today, 57 years later, I still get lost. Back in that field, I'll be going somewhere and I forget where I'm going. And I pass by places. I get up out the bed in the hospital one time at the VA, And I came back and I got in somebody's bed, and the guy said, "Hey man, you're in my bed." I said, "No, it's my bed." And I just went from the bed to the restroom, but I got lost, because I still get lost out in that field. So that was one of the stressors that I listed.
That's terrible.
So
let's go ahead and roll a videotape of...
take a break here.
Yeah, take a break,
Man.
and we'll roll a videotape of you in Washington with Congressman Charlie Rangel, you interviewing some Buffalo soldiers.
could I say this before we take the break? One thing?
Sure.
Is that I landed in Korea when I was 15 in 1952. This is 2008. It's just the Korean War or conflict, whatever you want to call it, is called the Forgotten War. It is not forgotten. I live it every day in my head. It ain't forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
But people want to sweep it up under the rug like it didn't happen. You go out to the VA, you can even see pictures of World War II and Vietnam and even Afghanistan. They got one little poster up there, the Korean War. All it says is Korea with the veterans walking in the snow. It's like it didn't exist. We lost over 35,000 men's their lives in Korea, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's rough, man. It's rough trying to get this up to the attention. If it don't be for Congressman Rangel, Congressman Rangel is a Korean veteran. I don't need to take no break right now. I want to share. Congressman Rangel wrote this book, and I haven't had a bad day since. Congressman Charles Rangel. And he's a Korean veteran, and he talks about his experience in Korea, how the white soldiers told the Koreans that we was monkeys and had tails, and they would ask us to pull our shirt up to show them our tails and all this stuff, man. And it was, and even though Truman signed the order to desegregate in 1948, when I got to Korea, it wasn't desegregated. We were some of the first blacks going in. We pulled in the outfits, man, and it was flags up there, all Confederate flags. You know, these Southern white boys. And they wouldn't drink out. They throw the cup away if they drank behind you. You go to the thing, get a canteen of water, and they throw it away. You know, I was 15 years old. I wasn't aware of all this stuff. My thing was I had went to the movies. I saw Audie Murphy in this movie To Hell and Back, where he captured all these people at. And I said, I have been shooting hooky from school. I was going to go over there and capture all these people and be a hero, and my mother wasn't going to whip me for shooting hooky from school. That's what I thought I was doing. And I ended up in a mess.
In Korea.
And been a mess ever since.
Mm-hmm.